Hi friends. It's a good opportunity to talk to all of you, something about myself and my time at IIT and beyond. Thanks, Lata, for making this opportunity possible. So here we go. Um, Name is Rajesh Rathi. Uh, Unlike many others, I didn't get myself a nickname as soon as I entered the campus. But there's something else that stuck with me. I was from a small town at that time, Nagpur, and not much English. And so when I came, and Madras was all English, especially the campus. So everywhere I would go, and I was quite unabashed, even though I didn't know the language very well. But I would go, extend my hand, and say, "Hey, myself, Rajesh Rathi, yourself." And that expression has stuck with me. Even right now, many of my friends from the campus come to me and say, "Hey, yourself, Rajesh Rathi, how are you?" So that's one thing that all my friends remember me with. I was in electrical department in 1982 and graduated. And yeah, that's my brief introduction. So when I came to the campus, um, it didn't take much time before my hobby, my passion became made me very popular. During the ragging sessions that used to happen in those days, it became very well known that somebody had come who was singing all the Hindi numbers, especially a lot of Manade numbers and all those things. So soon after the year started, there was this Jamuna Day, and that was a hostel that was having some social event. And that's where not only me, but a couple of other colleagues of mine who had also joined in that year, we all came to limelight pretty soon. And then on, for the remaining 5 years, it was lots of music, youth festivals, Mardi Gras. So all those, of course, are most imprinted memories for my time in IIT. Um, uh, in the very first month, as you all get into the hostel, new friends, new people, so much enthusiasm. The cycle trip that we made in the middle of the night to Mahabalipuram stays with all of us, and of course with me as well. So we started at 2 o'clock in the night and went there and came back. So those are some of the things. As we went into our different hostels, I was in Tapti hostel, and the late night debates that used to happen in the wings, especially after the OAT movies, the journeys outside the campus, occasional journeys outside to Waldorf to have occasional meals. Of course, money was not very free at that time, not very easy to come by. So it used to be very infrequent, but yes, it used to be there. And uh, occasionally we used to get out of the campus to watch a movie if the OAT movie wasn't good. And going to the Mount Road, Devi Bala, Devi Paradise, all these theaters, watching movies, coming back late night, not having the buses from some places, and then finally getting onto those trucks, and then walking the last 1 mile, and then, of course, inside the campus cycling. It was so nice. These are all the memories. Uh, Very fortunately, I still get a chance to come to Madras and come to the campus. There are several things that I get to do over there. And I still remember each time I come, those memories come back as nostalgia. And I still enjoyed doing that. Some of my favorite spots at IIT, I would say if I had to, among so many beautiful places inside the campus, I have to choose some, I would say the most favorite place is Shantivan, uh, right outside the OAT. And my most I mean, the biggest highlight of the year used to be in Mardi Gras when there used to be this light music competition and we would be all spread out over there. And obviously, I would be somewhere up there on the stage preparing, competing. Very nice place. Two other places which I cannot forget. One was Quark, right next to the skating rink. And Of course, I'm sure anybody who goes to IIT Madras cannot forget Taramani and Velachery. So these were some of the spots. Of course, Gajendra Circle sticks in all our heads as a big symbol, so can't leave it out. Let's move on to the next thing. So it's been now almost what 1982. I graduated, some 30 plus years. The identity that IIT gave me still stays with me. Just yesterday, when I was getting introduced to somebody, and until then, the gentleman was very kind of okay, okay, I'm meeting somebody. And then the moment I said I graduated from IIT Madras, I didn't even say the year. The spark came back in the eyes. Okay, the respect just changes. Maybe something is there, so that identity stays with me. And very coincidentally, my first job that I got in the US, I got into an area which was not very popular in those areas, in those days. So when I got my first job, it was not because of my US degree. It was because I was from IIT Madras, and that was on my resume, and that got me my first job. Um, it expanded my horizons. I was from a very small town at that time, Nagpur, and I also uh, kind of communication wise, I was very shy boy. So the moment I got into campus, so many diverse people, so many languages, so many interests. I was like a frog in the well, and somebody had just pulled me out of there, and it really showed me how big and beautiful the world was. Um, I also realize that, of course, a campus or a university like IIT gives you a lot in terms of the academics and education. But I think almost 75% of what you learn is from your surrounding, from the people with whom you move around, with whom you go to classes. And very, very thankfully and fortunately, it was a residential campus. So it's the time outside the classes that's what teaches you so much more, the kind of events that you get to organize or participate in, and so on and so forth. The kind of confidence at the end of the 5 years that it gave me, that I owe it completely to my environment and the time at IIT. I should also tell you, so back in school, in the later years when it was time to go to the university, I really didn't have much idea. We knew about the regional engineering college in the city, but the credit goes to my father. My father, he was also not a very exposed person. He was an agriculturist, but he always had his antenna up for his children, and especially for their education. So when my brother got married to somebody in Madras in those days, uh, my sister-in-law's younger sister was in IIT, and many people who may be listening to this may know Uma Ghurka. She was two batches before me. Maybe Lata, you are nodding your head, even you know her. So Uma was a great inspiration. Looking at her, I think we made up our mind that I have to do whatever. And then, of course, the preparation for JE started. You have to work hard to get there. I was a reasonable student in the school, so maybe my dad felt I would definitely make it. But still, he put me through some coaching and classes and stuff like that, and that definitely helped improve my rank. Um, Having said that, once again, all the credit goes to my dad, because he really inspired me to get there. So, what happened after IIT? During the IIT days, of course, 5 years went past like a jiffy, and before we knew, we were outside the campus facing the big bad world. So, 1982 is when I got out of IIT Madras. Soon after that, I headed to the US. I did my master's in electrical engineering from University of Houston.